Welcome, race fans here of the Dynasty Stock Car Racing Series. My name is Carlos Acosta for 3YTV, and joining me is Mike Maddox. Mike, how are you doing today?
I am doing good. I'm looking forward to some beating and banging here at Martinsville.
Yeah, that's right. Tonight's race is the Paperclip 100. It's going to be a fun event here tonight. 200 laps here of non-stop beating and banging, as you mentioned, and this race can go by pretty quickly, but Martinsville has shown before to be a very hot spot for a lot of these drivers, and these drivers will need to check their tempers in the door, because any wrong move could result in a lot of heated moments.
Oh, most definitely. I know we talked about it off air. As far as I know, I'm just coming in here as a sub, but I know Martinsville can be a disaster for your season, or it could be, the peak of your season.
Yeah, well said. Well, we're only 5 races into this season so far. We've had a couple of very interesting races, and of course, last week we had our first ever second winner of the season. We had Sam Brochu be able to actually beat Nick and Delicado. Anybody beat Nick and Delicado for once. As last week we saw Sam Brochu winning the race, Seth Rawls in second, Nick and Delicado finishing in third, Johnny Eckert fourth, which will be your Dash for Cash 4 finalist here tonight, and running at the top 5 for that race is Jake Bustos. But very interesting indeed. We had, as I mentioned earlier, the first time anybody was able to beat Delicado. So finally have the second winner of the season. Also want to give a shout out to Thomas Ogle for getting the pole for that race last week. Johnny Eckert, who started 16th, finished 4th, was a hard charger. He got that award. Lap leader award went to Sam Brochu for leading the most laps, and Min Hong, who I thought would have had a great race last week, unfortunately got into some trouble, did have the fastest lap of the race. So congratulations to all those drivers out there right now. As a matter of fact, I think, yeah, this is correct. Every single week we've had a race, we have had a different pole winner this season. So Zach Roethlisberger, Joshua Robinson, David Westergreen, DJ Weeks, and Thomas Ogle have each got a pole. We haven't had a repeat pole sitter here tonight, but Mike, do you think 6 times the charm, or do you think we may have our first ever repeat pole winner?
Well, just by going off of practice, and I know practice times don't mean anything because you're a lot in traffic, but we're getting ready to go to practice here, or qualifying here. So I think it's going to be a factor of who set the fastest lap early in this session, because we know the track changes as you go on in practice.
So yeah, I would like to see a 6 different pole sitter, but it wouldn't utterly surprise me to actually have a repeat one, to change it up. But we've had a lot of fast drivers here tonight, drivers who have had a lot of mixed luck, and drivers who had a lot of bad luck throughout these races. So with a really talented field out here, it's I would put my money on having a 6 different pole sitter here for tonight at Martinsville. But Mike, what are some of your top, I don't know, whatever number of tips that you have for driving this track?
Well, number 1 is getting through the corners without beating and banging everybody. We know the new damage model's into effect on iRacing, so it's keeping your car clean in one piece. I see that there is a tire limit for the series. You got 4 sets of tires. You don't want to overdrive your car early on. With the fuel limit set at 75%, these cars are definitely going to be handling way different than what I would normally drive. And we talked about it before, how there was the first time winner in this series after repeat winners. It's the mentality is behind that. You will change your mindset. Okay, well, one guy just got a win, so what can we do to keep the other guy from continuing to win? And that's going to be another key. Any race going on is like, he has a mindset of like, I can still win, and it's who's going to be there at the end.
That's a good point. Martinsville can be a big race of attrition. Sometimes some of the racers who try to stay out of the way and just kind of hang out in the back usually kind of sometimes end up having a very decent finish at a track like Martinsville, Bristol. Even the super speedway races where anybody can get involved in big incidents. Of course, here you get involved in an incident, you get some race damage. It's not really going to affect you too much compared to some of the bigger tracks you might get to. Aerodynamics is not going to play that big of a role here like you would find. So a lot of the time, some of these drivers, especially some of these winning cars, may have a couple seconds or two of optional repairs in pit road should they ever want to actually get that fixed. But already halfway through qualifying, Minghong has the fastest lap, and we saw earlier in practice he did have the fastest lap of the practice session before we finish it out. And Minghong is a driver who has not gotten the pole yet this season, so we could see our 6th different one. It's not over quite yet. We still have a handful different cars that have yet to put in a qualifying lap, including Tom Ogle in the number 83. But other than that, you got Dynasty Myhand, who is replacing. Can't quite remember who he is replacing, but I know he is replacing He's subbing for the number 29, so I have to remember who was driving the 29. So apologies for that, but he is subbing in for number 29 this week. Oh, actually, you know what? I do know who he is subbing in. Never mind, I lied to you. Ignore me. I thought I knew who he was subbing in, so that's apologies on my end.
We have all those little boo-boos, and you were talking about, from practice to qualifying. You got Hang Brand in practice a 19.251, and right now his qualifying times 19.263. So far fastest on the track. Sam ran a 19.298 in practice, and his qualifying was a 19.313. So we're definitely seeing a little bit of fall off from practice moving over to qualifying. So we'll see how much of the track has grip going forward in the race.
Yeah, and from what I can see based on some of these last times and best lap times that are being shown on my telemetry, it seems like the majority of these drivers are actually hitting their fastest lap on that second time lap. So we have less than 10 seconds to go here in qualifying. Before we do go over the grid, I would just want to quickly go over the current point standings. I forgot to actually mention that before we moved on to qualifying. But Nick and Delicado, your points leader by about 20 points over Paul Hemus in second, Tom Olgo in third, Marabello fourth, DJ Weeks fifth, Seth Rawls sixth, Robinson, Hess, Eckert, Riley, Hong, and Westergreen are your current 12 drivers in. And then Roethlisberger, Brochu, and Isabella are the drivers outside, but looking into the playoffs right now. But it's still very early. All of this can still change very quickly as the season progresses, so we're not going to dive too much into that. But qualifying is done. Ming Hong is your 6th different pole sitter this year. And I think it's time that we all go over here through the tonight's grid as I get the music queued up, get the graphics all nice up and showing. Ming Hong, pole sitter, 6th time this week. Sam Brochu was barely able to get it, but qualified second. Tom Olgo in third. Johnny Eckert fourth. Barrett Paul Hemus in fifth. Kean Riley qualified tonight's race in 6th. Nick and Delicado's qualifying in 7th. So let me turn that down just a little. Riley Marbello in 8th. 9th is going to be Josh Robinson, and tonight's 10th place starter is going to be Jake Bustos. Mike, would you like to keep on going? Or would you like to go?
Certainly, I'm actually going to step in and actually just say, as we're continuing with the driver lineup here, is that anybody that's actually in Florida that has actually been unable to participate in this race, or even is able to be here to watch, one thing we want to say is be careful. iRacing does not come first. It's your family, your health comes first. Be safe. Next week, hopefully everything gets sorted out this weekend, and you'll be back on the track and no damage is done.
Well said, Mike. So actually, for any Dynasty Stock Car Racing series fans wondering is, hey, where's Will? Usually it's Carlos and Will. Will's currently right now bunkering down, making sure he's all safe and sound, trying to get through the hurricane. He appears to be on the good end, but just to be on the safe side, he's making sure there's nothing that could possibly go wrong on his end. So we'll miss you out here tonight, Will, but we're glad to know you're all safe and sound, and we'll see you out here next week. Continuing out here with the grid before it ends, in 11th place, Damon Leininger, Andrew Hess qualified 12th, Seth Rawls 13th, or excuse me, that was wrong. Alexander Schumacher 13th, Seth Rawls 14th, Zach Evans 15th, Ty McIntosh 16th, John DeBarro, DJ Weeks, Vincent Isabella, and Ryan Mitchell in your top 20. 21st, David Westergreen, Nick Vasquez 22nd, Zach Rossesberger 23rd, and Davis Warren will be starting tonight's race out here in 24th. See who else we have out here. 25th, Alex Buffoli, Jordan Tarbo in 26th, Dallas Myhan replacing for number 29. In 27th and 28th is going to be Matt Brewer. So that's going to be all your 28 cars here starting tonight. And I'm going to hope for caution-free race, but if it does, it's Martinsville. It's still going to be a somewhat quick race. Stage 1 is going to be here at the end of lap number 40, and stage 2 will be at the end of lap number 90. But pace car's already pulled off into the garage. We're about to go green flag racing here for the first time tonight for the Paperclip 100.
So if we go caution free, I'll give you $10.
All right, green flags out here tonight. Ming Hong already no problem clearing through 1 and 2 single file, no problem for him. Broshu's able to get a good drive off the corner. So there's contact going into 1 as Ogo's going around with Eckert as well. Nope, caution is out now, and there goes those $10 I was probably gonna get.
Oh, you jinxed it right off the bat.
Oh man. That was a contact, I think, with Eckert. It was a pink car. I think Ogo was also involved. But let's see. Let's pull up a replay, see what happened. I apologize. I saw a pink car, but Johnny Eckert is not driving a pink car. Let's take a look at it and see just what happened.
The 83 looks like, on my view, looks like he checked up a little bit too early. The 79 just hit him in the left rear. Sent them a little into the 90, actually. And I believe the 74 was collected in that little mayhem.
Yeah, a couple. Ooh, the number 7. I don't know who that is. I believe that's Davis Warren. Made some contact there. Not sure if that might end up costing him a penalty, considering that all the cars were stopped for multiple seconds. But let's see if we can take a look at Tom Ogo from the back of the car. We see a 79 Toyota Camry. There was contact there going into the corner. You nailed it there. Checked up a little early, so started the race. 79 wasn't quite expecting that's Barry Palhemus, and there was a significant contact there, enough to get Johnny Eckert around, who was an innocent bystander. And already before we get to finish the first lap, we already have a couple drivers that are making significant contact with the wall and each other.
And we talked about at the start, it's the fuel limit is set for each driver. Everybody is the same. Fixed setup, 4 sets of tires. The fuel limit in the league is set to 75%, which means your car is definitely going to handle way different on the early start. Later in the run, it's definitely going to be a lot better. But every driver, they said it in the drivers meeting, be patient. Everybody's driving style is going to change. Your brake points are going to change, and keep an eye on the guy in front of him, not just the guy in front of you.
And we're taking a look here. It looks like the 74 did attempt to slow down for the incident, and Andrew Hess as well, but just wasn't quite quick enough. Clipped the 74, and that's what caused 74 to go around as well as a result of that incident. But overall, very small amount of damage. It's not really going to take anybody out here tonight. You mentioned it earlier, these cars do have a different damage model, more of a accumulated damage model, so it's over time some of these hits are going to start breaking some of those cars, so you can't get away with just slightly tapping a couple cars in the quarter panel here and there now. No,
definitely. I mean, maybe I believe we're going green too, which a little shocker there. I thought I see some cars still sitting in pit road, but my mistake. But we are back to racing, here in the Paperclip, and this is night racing, so we should see sparks flying.
Yeah, well, we already saw sparks flying there into turns 3 and 4 on lap number 1, but this time by, no problem for any of these drivers. Ming Hong, Broshu pretty much doing the same thing this time by, as there's a battle for third between the number 79 of Bear Paul Hemus. Oh no, the 52 goes around. That's Riley Marabello. He's going to go around in his Larson Land machine. Caution is going to come out here for the second time, and I don't think I saw there any contact there. That may have just been a single car spin, but let's take a look here on the replay, see if we may have missed something. Oh, there was contact.
Looks like he got a little loose coming off the corner, and then went up, drifted into the 4 car just a tad bit, and there it went.
I don't know if he got loose, but the contact with him and the 4 certainly didn't help at the exit of the corner. All the weights at those rear tires, the moment he made contact with the tire spinning, that's going to turn that number 52 Larson Land machine around. And small damage there, slightly tapping the inside wall. I don't think that's going to hurt him too much. What I do think is maybe his pride probably took a bit more hurt than his car on this incident, but I wonder if maybe netcode played a little part of it. There seemed to be, I think, like 2 instances of contact. That the second one kind of seemed a little more aggressive than the first. Probably maybe played in by the fact that netcode didn't know quite, or iRacing didn't quite know what to do with both of those cars at the live moment, and maybe resulted in a slightly harder contact to that 52 than probably would have happened in real life.
Actually, if you want to check out the in-car view of the 4, I'm looking at it extensively here, and it looks like he's trying to stay low, a little bit lower on the inside coming off the corner, and I believe the 52 tried to come up thinking he's going to have a little bit more room up there, and then just a little contact.
You know, I noticed that, but I didn't actually think about it too much. The 4 did not move up all the way as you would expect him to, or 52 probably didn't expect him to. I wonder if I can pull up a different camera angle. Yeah, let me go back here just a little, and then we'll pause it, and then we're going to take a look here at the exit of the corner. We see the 4 and the 52 side by side right here, and then we also see the 11 and the 79 going side by side as well, and there is quite a big amount of separation there because the 11 is up towards the outside wall. The 4 doesn't really come up all the way, and that's when the 52 and the 4 make contact. There's still quite a bit of gap. It's not the 4's fault that happened. I'm assuming the 52, as you mentioned, probably expected him to be a little bit higher up, and that resulted in that incident. But that's a good call. I thank you for bringing that up to my attention. But quick note, Johnny Eckert did go a lap down on the previous caution, the first caution of the night, with that incident. This time by, though, he is back on the lead lap. So I believe every driver should be on the lead lap once again.
And lights on the pace car are off, as the pace car is now hitting the entrance to pit lane. We do not have the choose cone here in iRacing just yet.
No, we don't. But
there is a number 3. And we are green flag with 3. A nice start.
Beautiful start once again for Ming Hong.
I believe that was the 23 that got inside there, try to keep his line.
Yeah,
clean restart.
Clean restart for all these first 4 drivers. They all started single file each, and double file each on the restart, and immediately went single file. And now it looks like the top 7 are single file all the way up to Seth Rawls, John DeBarro clear as well. Alexander Schumacher just got himself clear. Andrew Hess and Ty McIntosh now battling for that 10th place position here. As 9 and down is the 5 of Isabella goes around. Caution is out once again. These drivers were talking about how tough breaking into the corner and exiting the corner are, and I think this one actually was
a single.
Yeah, of just a driver giving it too much beans on the exit of the corners. Take a look at the replay.
That is 100% right. Definitely gave it too much power on exit. Looked at his speed go down a little bit too much. Again, we talked about it. You know, the fuel, it's the weight in these cars. You don't have the much weight in the back end to where if you step on the gas, it's definitely going to go around.
I also had a couple of drivers telling me with the way these cars, the way that the wheel is set up, if you get behind on your steering and you just give it too much wheel, you're gonna find yourself quickly going around. But yeah, with how much power these cars have on the exit of these corners, and the weight balance, it's no doubt that car went around as quickly as it did. However, this is another one of those more you're hurting your pride than you are your car. Is you actually didn't make contact with either the wall or any other driver, so no problem there for Isabella. She's going to drop all the way to the field, and he's going to have to find a way to get back up front once again. So 17 laps into this race so far. Haven't had many consistent laps in a row of green flag racing, and by the time we probably go back to green, we're actually going to be past the halfway mark of stage number 1 now.
Race officials have actually shortened this caution, so we are getting ready to go green as the lights on the pace car are off.
Interesting. That's that'd be pretty good. This single car spin, no damage. We did have a couple cars going down Pier Road, maybe to repair damage from previous incidents, but it seems like everybody's back out on track. You know, I applaud the officials for making it shorter, trying not to make the race go too long. Pace cars off. We're about to get into the restart zone. We don't have the cone, the choose cone, but we do have restart zones now. As soon as the 3 gets to that zone, he's got until then and the exit of that blue zone right there to go. He goes off, no problem for Ming Hong once again. And neither does Broshu, who every single restart and start of the race has found himself single file every single time. But other than that, top 5 all good up until Seth Rawls and Josh Robinson battling for that 6th place spot.
And we see the second place spin
around
right off the corner.
Wow.
I think that's another incident where he just got too much power.
Oh man,
this is on the replay here very shortly.
Yeah, this is not what you wanted to do if you were Sam Broshu running up in second. You had a clear distance for anybody
watch him
else.
Very closely. You're going to see coming off the corner.
Ooh.
Just a little bit.
That might be the second Spino machine to have gone around here in this race. Let's go on board in the Gyrocam and see if we can take a look at what he's doing. Where's the roll cam better? No, Gyrocam's better. That's not the Gyrocam. Oh man, I missed it. Let's do it again.
Yeah, we see just get a little bit loose.
So, taking a look at that in-car, it made me realize that these drivers are kind of doing what we kind of saw the real-life Cup cars do when they went to Bristol, and that most of the drivers weren't really using 5th gear in real life, with some rare exceptions. And in here, in that in-car camera we saw, Broshu was only using 4 gears. He was not using that 5th gear, and he was downshifting into 3rd gear in the middle of the corners. So that can also play a big effect. You're running more RPM in 3rd gear in the exit of the corner. That maybe this is why we're seeing so many cars kind of spin out on the exit of the corner.
Yes, that's also another thing. I'm actually did not even notice that, to be honest with you. So thank you for pointing it out.
Yeah.
I know from previous experience, I run a league on Monday nights, and we have a gentleman that dominates our league week after week after week. He's always there at the end, but never there at the start. And we're looking here on board your race leader, the 3. He was downshifting, but then he goes back into 4th gear before he steps on the gas. So it's going to be timing on that. On these restarts, not just the restarts as we're getting ready to go green here. Yep, pace car is in. So we're gonna take a look at that 3 car, and your new second place is the 79. Green flag is in the air. Oh, and
the
behind
four!
him, the
Nick
4 car.
Delicado. I saw his car jump up. I wonder if he got hit from behind or if he just spun his tires. But that was pretty shocking, especially considering that this is a multi-race winner Mr. 4 in a row to start the season, Nick Delicado. Let's see just what happened. We're going to have another quick caution here. Barely even had a chance
Look at
to
it
go
very
green.
closely. He gets on the throttle, and that's when the front nose ends up spinning a little bit.
That's a good point. Yeah, let's go on board, see what gear he chose to start in, and see if maybe was it in the middle of a shifting gear or was it just straight up spinning the tires.
First off, first gear start. That is not safe in these cars.
Oh yeah.
Especially if a light fuel like this has. You are not safe. You have to start in second gear.
Here, let's go on board Ming Hong and see how he did his restart. Also on first gear. But he is the controlling car, so he would know when to go.
Exactly.
All right, let's go Bear Paul Humus, see how he does his start first gear as well. Seems like maybe it was the smart move for Motor the drivers, and they just caught Nick and Delicado unawares.
But you notice how the leader was straight. Their car was 100% straight before they got in the throttle, and they didn't just slam on the gas. They just gradually got in the leader, he's controlling that start, so he's gradually getting on that gas. You're seeing maybe the car behind the 4, he probably tried to match the gas, and that's where it overspun.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a excellent man, I can't even analysis. I would say. But wow, taking a look at this, we started the race off with pretty much having all the 4 Dash for Cash drivers running in the top 10, and now look at this. We only have Seth Rawls in 5th. Everywhere else, Brochu, Eckert, and Delicado 21st, 25th, 26th, respectively. With the last 2 in pit road right now. Eckert fixing damage, and Delicado, we saw him spin out, had some slight damage with the inside wall. Tonight seems pretty weird even for Martinsville, Mike. We're only 28 laps into this race, and we've already had a lot of top-tier contending drivers make mistakes that you wouldn't really think that they would be doing here.
No, this race is going to be nutrition. As we have the pace car off pit road here, as we have, I believe, a 90 and entering pit road, but the 3 car is your race leader.
Yeah, Johnny Eckert's on pit road.
And I went back to look at that restart again, and I noticed the 4 car went from 57 RPM to 7,000 RPM. So again, wow. he did what I said. He tried to mash the throttle.
All around
because
the other Dash for Cash driver, Seth Rawls, cautions out once again.
All right, we're gonna go on board here on the replay and see exactly what happened.
Yeah, let's take a look at that right now. Let's go on board. 4th gear, downshifting to 3rd. The exit of these corners are just catching these drivers just completely unawares.
He actually got loose in the middle of the corner, which actually hurt your exit.
It seems like some of these drivers may be giving it just too much wheel on the exit of the corner, and combined with the power they're putting down and the weights that they have, it's snapping them around very, very fast. But let's see if we can catch what you were talking about, because I thought I noticed something a little odd in the middle of the corner. Let's see if his car twitches in the middle. Right there, yeah. It looked like it just rotated a little too much, and maybe set him up a little too far into the corner. So when you try to get on the gas, it turned around. Let's pop up that blimp view and see if we see anything different. The 09 got a
You see
massive
him?
run into the corner, almost ran into the back of the 30.
You see him just a little bit of a hair.
Now this is very hard to notice, but that was a great eye that you had there, Mike. I don't think I would have gone back to it and pointed it out if you hadn't had seen that yourself. But
so me personally, in the past, every time I look at an incident, it's like I play a lot of first-person shooters. So it's like when you take your frustration out, you don't want to do it in iRacing because Big Daddy is watching, whether you're in the league or not. Big Daddy is watching. So you go somewhere else and you do that. As we have the lights in the pace car are off, as the pace car is hitting pit lane. But every time there's a caution, I always want to make sure I keep the eye on exactly what happened. It might be the right answer, but it's the key. Green flag is out. As a 3 car again gets a great start.
Yeah, Ming Hong has led every single lap this race. Of course, there hasn't been much laps in a row to compete for anybody to even challenge. Bear Paul Hemus doing pretty good in second. You know, I gotta say, when Sam Brochu was up in second and staying behind Ming, he was right behind him, but wasn't like contending. But right now we see the Paul Hemus moving up on the outside line, trying to make something happen. Well, when they're running slow on the inside, you can just go on the outside and zoom on past. We saw the 09 try to do that on the 30 there on that last replay, and the 79 tried to do it right now. Didn't quite work out. Maybe Hong was taking it a little too easy early, and Paul Hemus going to his outside man and realized, oh, I got somebody that wants to pass me. So now they're picking up the speed right now, slightly faster lap times all around between these top 2 drivers. As
and we have another caution.
Out. Oh man! Oh, 23 involved again, 70, 12. Couple other drivers involved. The 11 has gone around past this incident point. Let's take a look. Let's put a camera on Sam Brochu and see what happened.
Ooh, looks like the 70 checked up on entrance to turn 1. Again, it's people's breaking points. You gotta look at not just the guy in front of you, but the guy in front of him.
That's a good point, but that kind of seemed a little weird. I want to get a different camera angle on it. I think I chose the wrong driver for that. Apologies for that. Let's take a look at Davis Warren. Does he have... I think he does. I want to see what caused him... No, nothing caused him. He just checked up more than Brochu expected, as you mentioned. It caught him just unexpectedly, and 23 just tried to dip down low below into the apron. On that grass mounted section. That's obviously wasn't going to work out for the 23, and he was just pretty much on hang on tight mode. Clips to 70, clips to 83 as well. 83 keeps on going. 70 is able to save it, makes contact with the inside wall. But I also want to see what happened to the 11 of Keaton Riley. It seemed like he got past that okay, and then on the exit of the corner went around. Did he have some help, or did he just give it too much beans on the exit of the corner? He gave it too much beans on the exit of the corner. Alright, so that's going to solve that problem. Mike, is there anything you think I should take a look at here?
I believe the officials have shortened this
good point.
Caution again as we are getting ready to go green. I was trying to listen to race control and hear what they were saying, but as we go to the 3 car, at this race, I don't think they're going to need the pit for anything.
And this is the last lap of the stage, so whoever's in the top 10 on this lap will be getting stage points. Right now, Ming Han, Paul Hemus, Leininger, Schumacher, Robinson, McIntosh, Westergreen, DeBarro, Mitchell, and Bustos are your top 10 right now. Marabello's leaking into that top 10.
I actually totally forgot about the stage, and I'm like under caution for 90% of this first stage.
Well, remember, cautions are not going to come out for stage finishes, and in here, we're glad that's definitely not happening right now. But Mike, why don't you go ahead and take over the commentating duties while I update Ming's Hong graphic to show that he just won a stage.
All right, we got the 3 car right now up front. We're looking at the 35 actually. Looks like on the exit of turn 4 there, he got a little bit loose. These drivers, they They just need to settle down. Oh, we have problems in the back.
Looks like everybody was able to keep it nice and secure. No caution.
96, 95 actually. Looks like he got loose off of 4 and hit the inside wall, but he's still going.
I'll see if I can pull up a quick replay on that as we got Ming Hong name, or number I should say, showing up here in Platinum for winning that stage. But the 79 has gotten to his inside as they're battling side by side for this race lead. For the first time tonight, Ming Hong is getting competition as we're going to have a brand new leader here on lap number 45 of this race. No problem there. Go on.
I'm actually looking at all the other drivers, and we're seeing the back end of their rear brakes lighting up bright red, which means we see these drivers changing their brake bias in car. And I believe that's definitely factored in. You know, I think the last caution that he had too much front brake bias, that's why he went to the inside. So that way he didn't get too much contact. But we said it didn't end well for him. So far, the jinx has gone out the window. I'm not going to say the word, but we are racing.
Yeah, so far Stage 2 is looking very promising compared to Stage 1. Stage 1, 40 laps. Stage 2, slightly more. Stage 2 ends on at the end of lap number 90 as the 12 is going to go around in the back. Caution is out once again. More contact. The 97 and the 90 of Eckert make some contact. Not sure if that was contact between them intentionally or if just accidental because one of them got loose. But let's take a look at the replay with the caution out here on stage number 2. We saw 12 get loose. I think it may have been by himself. Take a look. Goes on around. A little too much beans on the exit of the corner. This is, I don't know if it's on me as a 97 gets loose as well, but that one kind of seemed like a little bit later than usual where we saw a car go around. It kind of seemed like it was more on the slightly straight end of the corner. No,
well, again, you know, again, it's the fuel. These cars are now starting to burn more fuel, which means the weight in the back is starting to pick up more. Looking back on the spin a little bit, I don't see any difference. Just a simple mistake. And the one thing to point out, is with these next gen cars, is the damage model is definitely going to take effect if people keep hitting that front nose.
Yeah, it's what was mentioned earlier. You mentioned it earlier tonight. The accumulated damage model that iRacing has introduced with these cars on their latest build. We've seen it already come into effect slightly. I don't believe it was in this league where through ITV saw it, but contact with the wall repeatedly has ended up resulting in some drivers having an early exit into their garage. But tonight, we may not be seeing mostly right side damage. We'll probably be seeing damage on the front end, maybe moving into the back of other cars if we get green flag runs of people who get impatient. Wasn't it used to be said that if you were in the way, your rear bumper would be destroyed at the end of Martinsville races, and if you were fast, it would be your front bumper?
Oh yes, I think in the previous Gen 5 car, actually, I love this track. I remember doing it. NASCAR iRacing has a NASCAR design series called the NASCAR iRacing series. I would do every single race, every single time slot. And I remember doing this race at 4 in the morning. And I ended up going a lap down for damage, coming back and winning at the end of the race. Wow. And it was tiring. Again, that's the last time you do 500 laps of this track. Anyway, yeah. Pace car is off. And we do have a different race leader up front.
First time of the night. First restart with a different race leader. 79 Paul Hemus gets to the restart zone and takes off very quick. This is the biggest gap we've seen for a leader, as now Damian Leininger is on the inside of Ming Hong, and Ming Hong has gone from leading the race to now in third place. No separation, or I should say separation between the first 4 drivers, and then Alexander Schumacher and Riley Marabello battling for that fifth place spot. Which all these inside lane spots are going to be very important because you never know when a caution is going to come out.
So we have a spin in the middle
oh
of
no,
turn
caution's
2.
out. 23, Brochu, Eckert, 97 involved again, as well as the 12. This one is pretty significant for Brochu in the 23 machine, as he's got some pretty heavy front end damage. Here we go.
Going back and checking out that replay.
There was a checkup, it looks like, in the field. And oh no, cut across the hood of the number 6 Me Fine machine of Zach Evans, one of our in-race or in-car camera drivers. But let's take a look to see if Sam Brochu misjudged the corner or if Zach Evans came up. Let's take a look at the blimp cam. Something happened with the 11 that kind of caused a mini checkup. 23 goes down, and the 6 is Zach Evans. Mike, unless I'm seeing it from a different angle, didn't really do anything except existed there as 23 went down into the corner.
Yeah, I'm looking at the replay from my point of view, and it just looked like the 11 just let the car that was behind at the time, or the inside, go, so that way he can get in line and shake it off. But I think the 23 was just getting too aggressive, too early.
So big contact to some of these drivers. That was Nick Vasquez. We were just on board. Let's go on board DJ Weeks. He was also involved slightly in the last caution, involved once again in this one. As we see 23 go around, heavy contact to the back of Leininger. And Johnny Eckert once again involved. Johnny Eckert, you weren't here last week, but I was talking to Will about Eckert, and I've covered Eckert many races between many different leagues, and he's been extremely consistent. One of the finest racers I've ever seen on iRacing. And then he co-creates this league, and he starts running, and he runs well, but he's been making some mistakes that are very un-Johnny Eckert like. And not only that, but he's been finding himself pretty much getting a lot of tough breaks, getting involved in incidents that aren't his fault. He's been having a very mixed season so far. He's currently in the playoff contention area right now, but with races like this, he may have to start thinking of different ways to maybe getting in the playoffs. Because right now, right now with the way his results are going, he needs to step it up and get a lot of good breaks to get out of this funk that he's got right now.
And you did see the lights on the pace car go off, so officials have shortened this caution by 1 lap, and we are getting ready to go green. We have a new second place at the moment is the 35 of Damien, up 10 spots from the start, and the 79, a big jump on that start. And new second place leader is the 3. Oh, this racing's getting a little intense now.
The 3 wide going into turns 3 and 4. There's going to be contact with the 8. Multiple cars going around. 74, 22, 83 once again. Eckert, he got involved once again. It also looks like this is pretty much the exact opposite of what every driver, every league official was talking about wanting to do at Martinsville. Martinsville is a beast for a reason, and it's even tougher in online racing just because of the fact that you get certain factors like lag and the fact that you're not actually in the car in real life that are affecting these drivers, that cause these to kind of be wreckfest. And we've seen that in week in and week out on multiple leagues whenever they go to short tracks, and tonight it doesn't appear to be an exception for these drivers here. So it's going to be a very long, tough, frustrating night for everybody involved here tonight, for the drivers, the commentators, the officials. Everybody out here is going to be hoping that these drivers can get some laps going on around. But this is unfortunately just something that occurs with racing in general. I should say online racing in general, because these drivers, they've proved that they are definitely capable drivers. But something about Martinsville and Bristol that just brings up some of the worst results for everybody out here tonight.
I'm going to actually agree and disagree.
Oh, yeah.
My first experience in my current league was a disaster. We ended up running on actually Tuesday night because our league owner is actually part of the Peak Coca-Cola series. And I remember they moving that race to a Monday instead of a Tuesday. We ran our race on Tuesday, and it was a disaster. Like, it was caution, caution, caution. I think we ended up being 2 hours before the race ended up finishing. And we do 50% of what the real race does. So what's 250 laps? And that was very, very, very much caution. Granted, we had 40 some on drivers, but we're looking at 27, 28 drivers here. It looks like 2 people did not take the start, the 26 and the 29. But again, like, Martinsville is, there's going to be emotions, and as an admin, you have to be like right on top, calm people down. During the drivers meeting, they said patience, patience, patience. And it looks like a lot of these drivers, patience is out the window.
It's unfortunate, and Naya, you bring up the next 7 point there. But 63 laps in, this is our 10th caution here. We did have a couple of laps of green flag racing here before a couple of cautions came out, but lights are off. We are going to be going green next time by for the 10th restart of the night. Paul Hemus, your current race leader, Ming Hong in second, was able to actually get that spot back from Leininger, who has actually dropped 2 spots down, he's actually in third. He's just lagging back a little bit. 52 Marbello in fourth, Schumacher fifth. McIntosh, we have an in-car cam. We'll see if we can pull it up here if these guys go green long enough. But we're going to have a 10th restart of the night, and let's see if this one can be any different.
Green flag, and we've seen the 79 get a good restart. But one thing is, he's not pulling away. 3 cars right there on his butt.
Yeah, we've noticed this with Ming Hong before. Paul Hemus doing it as well. They get a good restart going into the corner. Going around goes the 08. Good recovery, but slams into a couple drivers. 61, the 4 and Delicado involved. I think it's just these 3. Maybe there's a 4th one around here. But I actually didn't quite see just what happened. I saw the 08 and the 61 make contact. Mike, did you get a different look from me?
Looking at that right now.
Ooh.
Looks like it started with the 08, got loose, it got into marbles on the outside. Stepped on the gas and came back down into the 61, and 61 collected the 4. Had a little bit of chain reaction behind. Looks like the 70's right front tire was definitely destroyed.
Well, hold up. What caused the 4 of Delicado to... Oh, yeah. You brought it right there. That tire's destroyed. That suspension's damaged. But what caused the 4 to go around? I didn't see any contact. I wonder if that was netcode.
I'm checking on that.
Yeah, but you mentioned the 08 went a little too high, maybe hit the marbles. I think that was netcode. Let's take a look at the in-car, see if there's any shaking that could resemble there being contact. Yeah, that was just some bad netcode. You saw the car shake a little, go a different direction, and that car tried to fix it. That's just some unfortunate. That's a tough break for the 4 there, and he made some slightly significant contact into the outside wall because of it, head first. But yeah, the 08 hit those marbles, and similar to what we saw some of the guys also that ran on the inside that spun around. But how significant are those marbles on the outside? How dirty is it from your point of view, or your perspective, I should say?
From my point of view, it's disastrous. You get up there, you're done. We just with the 08. Under caution, it's the mystery. Cars come out and clean up the track, but you're getting loose because you're your weight. We talked about it before. It's the 75% fuel. Definitely the factor that though, and then the marbles. You definitely don't want to get in the marbles because that's definitely going into dirt and dirt racing.
A good point. And we also have Chris Edwards out on chat saying, "Is that Maddox?" And it looks like he may have realized that was you because he says he owes me dollars. So, Mike, what have you done that you owe this poor man dollars?
Oh man, that is actually one of my team leaders on my team for the roadside. Trying to play a little joke on chat.
Well, either way, once again, I want to give a huge thanks to Mike Maddox for popping in here and covering for Will tonight. Will, for those joining maybe a little bit late, as we have we're gonna be going green next time by. He's getting ready for Hurricane Ian, making sure that everything is safe and sound, and that he is safe and sound. As Mike, as you mentioned, everybody out there, especially in the Florida area, please stay safe.
Breaking news: P2 has disappeared on track. P2 has disappeared on track.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Oh, Ming Hong's having issues.
This is game changer.
This is going to shake up the whole field right now. They don't know where Ming Hong is, and Ming Hong is disappearing. He's still not back, as you mentioned. This is, he popped in there for a brief. He's right there right now. This is horrible. At any moment, he could pop back in. He could pop out, pop back in a position that could have caused a wreck. And it would not surprise me if some of these drivers may have black flags. We see right there, I think that's Roethlisberger that went wide. Don't know if he was trying to argue that he had a black flag and missed the corner, or just something else happened. But this is absolutely the last thing that you want to be a part of, or have anybody be a part of when you're restarting a race.
Definitely. I'm looking at his quality. Looks like it's coming back up. Yeah, we're back to normal. Yeah, especially when you're up front at a short track, you don't want to have that happen.
Oh, the 10 of time Macintosh! I was just about to cut on into his in-cart camera. Goes through a wild ride. He gets maybe a little too much rear brake. Got a little tail happy there entering the corner. Was able to save it. Lost a little bit of time to Ming Hong, but right now he's battling there on that inside line. As right now he does not appear to be just quite happy. Is taking an onboard look here with Ming Hong. No contact there, but he's going to lose some spots, showing some slight signs of frustration. As right now he's stuck on that outside line. And well, Mike, what do you know about Martinsville on the outside line?
Oh, as we have a crash, no. 30 car.
No caution. No caution at the 22. Beautiful brand new purple machine scheme that came out today. Getting involved with that, as well as a 30. Why don't you go ahead and talk for a little bit as I try to pull up maybe a quick little glimpse as to what happened there with the 30.
I'm a little confused on why there was no caution. But you want to look at the 30, the 12. Looks like the 12 checked up a little bit on entrance, and the 30 car.
Here's replay on the top screen. Yeah, you mentioned it. Caution is out now. There's a wreck.
It's like the 79, the race leader.
That is what something is going on. I think there may be a full moon.
The 35. 35 is wow. Let's go. Can we go on board with the 35?
Yeah, we can go on board with the 35. Let's pull up that replay.
Try to go to a chase cam. Yeah, perfect view. Perfect. All right, we're going to watch him very closely going in here to the corner. Gets into the corner.
Great middle.
Good exit. Now going into turn one. See him get a little bit throttle happy. Good exit. All right, going to be coming up here. He sets him up. He's at his bumper. So you know he's going to try to make a move. There he goes. He sets him up for the inside pass. This is where the bump's going to come.
Oh, boom. Man.
Left rear. We seen him. He was gaining fast and fast. You seen him on board.
Yeah, and Kean Riley was there, almost capitalized on this whole deal as well. By the way, I do apologize for having you do all those laps. I accidentally hit the wrong camera angle, and so we were on them for just a couple extra laps. But here's the actual corner going down into it. The 79, I think he maybe made a little mistake in the middle of the corner, had to readjust. And with that little checkup was enough for the 35 with Damian Leininger to just blip that nose down in there, make some contact. And I want to take a look at the in-car of the 11, the onboard, see maybe what he saw, because he almost capitalized on this mess. Ooh, maybe if it was a little bit before the actual end of the corner, he maybe could have done something about it, but there was really nothing. It wasn't really that close for the 11. It just seemed that way on the rear camera that one time. But unfortunate for Bear Paul Hemus is that was not light contact that he did with the outside wall, it appears. Here's the back end camera. Little nudge right there as it just shoves him straight up and hits. That's pretty significant contact. It would not surprise me if any of the left side suspension is damaged. I want to see if when he pulls away, do we see anything that gets broken? No, this all looks good, I believe. Does he back up? All right, it looks like he has. Yeah.
I just want to say we are getting ready to go green here, but I just want to say, don't apologize. What you showed was perfect. We showed him setting up. We seen how he raced, caught him up. The leader took off, fine, good and dandy. But we seen him how fast he was able to catch that leader, and he gave him the bump, and it just happened to be the wrong type of bump.
All right. Well, we have on this restart here. We're gonna have 7 laps to go before stage 2 is over, and then it's 110 laps the rest of the way. Green flags back out. Leininger, your brand new race leader after contact with Paul Hemus. Goes on around nice, already cleared by these two drivers. 52 of Riley Marabello and Kean Riley. And we saw the 52 going around earlier in this race. It's pretty impressive that he's back up contending for this second place spot, Mike.
Very, very crazy that we see the 35 pulling away. But 52, new second place is the 52 of Riley catching up past the 11. 11 still fighting hard. And we talked to the 3 car. He had a little bit of network problems a couple restarts ago, but he's back here. He's trying to reclaim his point lead. And not championship points, it's the point of the race.
Yeah, Meng Hong doing pretty well. He's had some up and down races, but he's kind of trending towards the up part. He just needs to be able to kind of clear some of these unfortunate issues and mistakes that other people do around him. And in this case, this one was an internet connectivity issue that kind of dropped him a couple spots. Other than that, Meng Hong's been running in the top 5 all race, and he's looking pretty posed to have himself a very strong night here tonight, as I believe that's a 12 of Nick Vasquez, who's running a little slow.
The 12 did spin. Just went back and looked at it. He clipped the apron coming out of 4 and went around. So we're looking at a replay here. You look at enter. You're going to make a late exit.
Yeah, you're right. He clipped the apron.
Yep.
No cars behind him, meant no caution. This one was probably the correct call of a no caution compared to the last one that didn't bring out a caution. That one was pretty weird, but yeah, right now he's got some significant damage that's slowing him down as the 99 gets around. I wonder if he maybe panicked a little bit thinking that the 12 is there. Eckert involved one more time. Eckert, buddy, what's going on? But caution's out here, 13th time of the night. Let's take a look at Ryan Mitchell, who has gone around here on the exit corner. I have a feeling this one was maybe him being slightly afraid of the 12 car being on his outside. No, never mind. I'm stupid. I don't know. It looked like that was the case, but the 12 was further behind him. 95, it just looked like what we've seen 4 or 5 times already here tonight. Mike, what are you seeing on your end?
I'm still trying to review it fully. Looks like we had 2 cars involved. The 90 and the 95. I'm still reviewing it completely. I believe you. I thought you had said the 99, so I went back to look at that, and it was the wrong driver.
Oh yeah, I said 99. It's a 95. I apologize. That's on me. But Eckert in the 90 spun around because he clipped the apron. So we're gonna quickly go and take a look at him. Zoom in. Look at those rear. Look at those brake pads glowing both sides. But yeah, clips the apron. That gets him around like we saw earlier. Well, that spin that didn't bring out the caution. But the 95 is the driver that mainly brought out the caution here tonight. You can kind of maybe see why I thought it was 99 from a distance.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just looking at the replay, I look at it multiple angles, multiple times. One mistake, one frame could be different from the other. I think it's just a simple mistake. Mm-hmm. Nothing too much throttle and exit.
So that that also ended up finishing the second stage. And actually, I'm not quite sure who won the stage for that one. I'm gonna see if maybe I can ask an official if they'll be able to respond to me. Hopefully they do.
Stand by. I'll get that for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. But other than that, it's been a very up and down race. Nick and Delicado, the Dash for Cash. We haven't really talked about that too much because all the Dash for Cash drivers have been involved in very early incidents. Some of them multiple times. Eckert, Rawls, Brochu, and Delicado. 35 won that second stage. All right. Why don't you go ahead and take over while I get that quickly updated. As you may have noticed, 35 is no longer up front. We had majority of the field go down pit road for green flag pit stops, and pretty much 7th and back have all gone down for pit stops.
Checking on one thing on timing here. Looks like the 35 was in the pits for 14 seconds, so we know that's 4 tires for sure. And why do I have people crashing under yellow? Let's see. What's going on here?
Could just be checking up.
Yep,
I'm
that is right.
Westergreen, yeah. I wonder, maybe David Westergreen had to let some of the drivers go by. He probably pulled off to the side. That's why it was showing it that he has crashed. But going to go green next time by 90 on starting lap number 96. We're going to have 105 laps remaining here. Already almost at the halfway mark, 13 cautions. This is going to be a 13th restart. Another brand new leader, Isabella out on top. McIntosh in second, Weeks third, Ugo fourth, Robinson and fifth. And we're about to go green flag racing here. 13th time of the night.
At the moment, the 5 car is the biggest mover of this race. With plus 18 since the start.
Yeah, and he's firmly secured first place. Ty McIntosh right behind him. We have an in-car camera angle with him. Oh no, every time. The 6th. Oh, me no fine. Oh, Zach Evans, our other in-car camera driver with the me fine machine, is currently me no fine as he's brought out the 14th caution here of the night. Let's take a look at what happened. I'm also seeing Johnny Eckert may have been involved in that one once again.
I believe it's the 09 came up and clipped the 6.
Oh man, that's just the way Zach Evans' whole racing career has been going. He's just been an unfortunate byproduct of other drivers making mistakes or just getting involved in incidents that other drivers may have caused. But real shame, Zach Evans.
Actually, if you can, let's try to see a chase view, because I'm looking on my screen and it looks like there was a tiny bit of netcode that started it.
I may be able to. Let's go on board the 90, see if we can see. I'm gonna slow it down when it gets there. So we're gonna have a pretty good angle. It's already some contact. Okay, so yes, I think that there was netcode, but I also think there probably would have been contact regardless. Let's crack open that blimp camera, see if we can see anything different. I do believe netcode's played a factor here. It's already played a factor here tonight.
So I believe the netcode started him getting the loose, and then the
Yeah.
second bump is what finished him off.
Yeah, because
So
there
that,
were sparks already coming up before there was actual contact, indicating that there was contact that we just weren't seeing. So, fantastic, Mike. You have a gift with your eyes that I am very jealous of.
well, it's hard from being behind the camera to be able to look at all these type of views, but you gotta look at every fine detail. Like NASCAR has so many cameras when they look at replays to see what's happened. So you got to look at a different view.
Those are some wise words. You ought to maybe set up a master class or something. I'll definitely attend. Megan Delicado, oh, never mind. I thought he went down Perry Road. It's just showing that he was indicating. But pretty interesting so far. We got the drivers that went down Perry Road. We have a couple set of drivers. We have the drivers. We have like 4 sets of drivers. Drivers that went down pit road, lap 55, after stage 1. You know, they're out there. They're currently first and third. We have the drivers that went down pit road on the caution on lap 81, where they're pretty much out there, fourth all the way down to like third all the way down to fifth, places like that. And then we have the drivers that went down pit road at the end of stage 2. And they're all currently in the back half of the top 10. But interesting to note, Ty McIntosh in second hasn't gone down Pear Road yet. So it'll be pretty interesting to see just how much laps of fuel he has remaining, because it's going to be running pretty low at this point, don't you think?
Most definitely. Let's see if we could do a crank it up here on this restart. And hopefully it stays green for a little bit longer.
And you're back.
All right. That was a little bit of onboard audio sound from everybody that's going around track. There's sounds, sights, and sounds of iRacing in a next-gen car here at Martinsville. And we have a caution. I think that lasted 3 laps.
No, that was like a lap and a half as the 11 ended up going around hitting the curb. Oh, and then hits the 95. I got it right that time. And oh no, I think the 95 has broken suspension because of that. Where's the 95? We saw him make contact. After the contact, he pretty much just went straight down low.
Like he didn't hold his brakes.
Right there, you see that's damaged suspension. That 95 is going to be spending some time down pit road. It's got that meatball flag definitely displaying on his screen right now. But
that's one. When you're an iRacer and you hear people say, "Oh, hold your brakes," this is what people are talking about. We seen the 11 just try to come up the track, did not hold his brakes.
Yeah, well, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back with you guys before we go green here for the 15th restart of the night. You're back.
Oh, we do have problems. The 3 car has dropped connection from the server. And as drivers are looking in chat, they're typing F as in to pay their respects to that driver. He is reconnected, but he will be a couple laps down.
That's unfortunate. We saw earlier Ming Hong running strong tonight. Was your pole sitter, the 6th different pole sitter of the night. At some point in between, in stage 2, he, starting in 2nd, had himself pretty much disappear for like half a lap. By the time he came back, he dropped all the way down to 6th, was able to slightly recover, and unfortunately, it seems whatever internet issues were plaguing him are only getting worse as he has fully dropped out of the session. Hopefully, getting back up here on track soon. Already past halfway. We're going to have our 15th restart of the night between Ty McIntosh and Vincent Isabella. Green flags out, and Ty McIntosh is your current race leader. No
Ty
problem.
McIntosh with a great restart, followed by DJ Weeks at 97, new 2nd place. Followed by the number 5, your previous restart leader.
Oh, contact in the back. 23 goes around. 2 of our Dash for Cash participants getting some contact here in this 16th caution of the night. And the worst appears to be the 23 of Sam Brochu once again. It looks like he's getting his car repaired slowly but surely, but this is definitely not going to help his cause. Let's pop it back up on the replay and see what happened to Sam Brochu. Definitely contact between the 2 of them that caused the 23 to fully go around, but I think the 23 was already slightly going around when they met.
He got loose on his own.
Yep. 25 of Isabella was just an innocent bystander there, just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or, excuse me, not Isabella, Seth Rawls at 25.
And again, your pole sitter has problems in rejoining the session. Connection dropped again. And as the drivers are moaning his loss in chat, as we're looking on board the replay here.
And we were looking on board Seth Rawls at 25. Apologies to Vincent Isabella for mentioning his name. He had nothing to do with that one. But yeah, tough break for Ming Hong. He definitely had speed tonight. Led the majority of stage 1. Won stage 1. Got past in stage 2. And then since then, even though he's been running strong, has been plagued with internet issues that right now only appear to be getting worse. But I probably would not give up quite yet. Fully in terms of competing in the race. Ming Hong he's pretty much locked out of winning at this point, unless things get really, really bad. Ming Hong's probably not going to win this race, but that doesn't mean he can get a couple spots here and there. It's still early in the season, but he's had some mixed results here this year. Wouldn't hurt him to get a couple spots, couple extra points. Finishing tonight's race in the event that maybe there's a bigger wreck that can maybe take out a couple of these drivers. So, Mike, I wouldn't give up, and I don't think Ming Hong's going to give up either.
Actually, officials have shortened this caution, so this one is going to be the one to go here. And the lights are off on the pace car, so it looks like we are going to be going green next lap.
Yep, so we're going to have a nice treat here. We're going to go on board with the number 10 machine here and showing his in-car camera as well. We're gonna just crank it up, let the sounds of this restart take you guys, and after a couple laps or if a caution comes out, we'll go back and continue commentating. You're back.
And we're under caution.
Oh, man.
As a DJ Weeks. Wow. As things can't get hard enough. As Ming Han has tried to reconnect to the session. So he is still trying to rejoin us. We're going to go and see what happened this caution.
297 going around. That was second place. Yeah, I didn't think that was second place. Then we saw the 09 have issues. What happened here was a checkup. Didn't check up as hard as the other drivers did and went head first into the inside wall. That was pretty hard, Mike. That one may have fully shaken up the way that car behaves now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we've seen the 97 come back up the track a little bit, but he stepped on the gas to make sure he did not get in people's way. Look at that. He was like, and then I think that little chain reaction right there caught the guy. Let's see, I think it was
Alexander Schumacher.
23 by surprise. Oh yeah, caught the 23 by surprise, thinking he was gonna stay up there. And that's where the spin happened.
But yeah, unfortunate, another quick caution. We did go a couple laps there, but it's not quite sure what they wanted to do. 120 laps into this race, or I should say 119. We're in lap 120. Ty McIntosh, your current race leader. He has not won a race yet, but right behind him, Nick and Delicato, Mr. 4 in a row to start the season. You know, Mike, you weren't there last week. I had ridden out Nick and Delicato out. He was running not mid-pack, but in the back end of the top 10 most of the night. Wasn't really in a position where I thought he would have contended for a win, but right that last run he did, he was passing cars left and right like I'd never seen. He got up there to second and got in a position where on the exit of a corner, he was going to dive down to the inside of the race leader and get the lead with less than 7 to go. And unfortunately, a caution came out right when he was making that move. And since that caution, because he was starting on the outside line, he wasn't able to get the exact position he needed to do, lost a couple spots on that first restart, had a quick caution that resulted him kind of just dropping back slightly, ended up finishing in third on that race. But had that caution not come out, it would have been 5 in a row and we would have still only had one winner this whole year. But Nick Delicato, he's going to ignore last week's results. He's going to go out here and try to get a 5th win of the season and try to improve his winning percentage there. As I can't do my math at all, but you know, it's 5 races. He's won all but one, so that would put him at 80% winning, wouldn't it? I don't know.
I believe 90%.
Yeah,
now remember,
right, yeah.
We talked about this, being there at the end, buying your time. And that's what he's doing. He's buying his time. An awesome restart by the 10.
Wow. Great restart by the 10. You mentioned pulled away pretty big. Now it's time to see if McIntosh can pull his big boy pants and continue going, separating this lead. This is actually the biggest lead we've actually had all season. Oh,
and the race leader.
Oh, Ty. Oh, man. He is not happy. Just when we got possibly the biggest separation this whole race. That was a fantastic.
We started talking about him.
Yeah. Ty, I owe you. I owe you.
I am going to check his on board, see what happened. Oh, too much throttle on exit.
Let's go ahead and take a look. I'm also seeing Vincent Isabella may have had an issue there, but that could just be checking up. Could possibly not have been anything. But Ty McIntosh right now, definitely not happy. He made a big mistake there late in this race. There's still time to recover. We've seen these drivers make mistakes and come back up for get many positions. Doesn't seem like significant contact to the inside wall. There's still contact nonetheless. But that 10 of Ty McIntosh right now, not happy with his mistake. Let's go on board, see if he did maybe just anything we couldn't quite see.
And you heard it right there. He just got back on the throttle way too fast. Looks like race officials have shortened this caution. So I believe we're going to be going green here in another 2 laps.
No, this time by actually.
Definitely. Lights are still on. Oh.
Yeah, lights are off.
I
you
apologize.
may not be live.
I was still looking at the replay.
I've done that
apologize.
before.
I was looking at the replay so many times. I apologize. There we go. Pace car is off. And look who's your race leader.
Mr. 4-time, as I just broke my headphones. I gotta... Oops. Restart zone
and
coming
green
up
flag,
here.
Green flag.
Green flag's back out.
Good restart by the 4. 30 car looking to try to make an advantage here. Yeah, 52.
Oh, no, big
wrecking it back.
Drivers involved.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Multiple drivers, including number 6, the Refine machine.
These are previous leaders. The 35. Ooh. Definitely gonna have to really look at this fully here.
They're pretty much completely locked up. Oh, look, Ming Hong's back on track.
The 79. Actually started with the 79.
79, that's Barrett Paul Hemus. We got him here. Let's take a look. 79, 35, 83.
54. 54. 54 came up. They were 3 wide on exit. The 54 came up, hit his left rear quarter panel just a tad, and a chain reaction. 79 and 83. 35 looks like it had a netcode turn.
Yeah, 54 got on the gas a little bit too early compared to the other drivers. That moved them up just a little and pretty much created this whole this choke point here on the backstretch. There's a lot of drivers involved in this incident. You know, we've had mostly, I would say probably at most 3 or 4 cars in an incident. That's probably only happened once or twice. This time by, we've had like, I think 6, 7, maybe 8 cars. Wouldn't surprise me we got to double digit with the amount of contact that's been going on. This is definitely the biggest incident of the night. That being said, it doesn't look like any of these cars got really big terminal damage.
Wow, this race is definitely turning out to be a eventful one. 35 to 3. 79.
A lot of drivers involved in this one, and we saw just how far some of these drivers were able to go before they went down Pier Road. With the drivers we have now, I think everybody can make it on fuel. Nick and Delicata went down on lap 91. Same thing with Marbello. Robinson came down 81. That one may be cutting a little close, but I think every person here has already gone down Pier Road. If anybody's gonna go down Pier Road now, it's either because they have horrible damage or they're already in the back and might as well try to figure something out. I think Pier Road's pretty much gonna be close to everybody else that's running up front here. Alright, lights are off. We're going to be going green here. 19th caution of the night. Pace car is off. These guys cannot go until they get to the restart zone. Recently added a couple builds ago. Restart zone, it's going to be that purple Geico section we see on these racetracks. Here we go in the Geico restart zone. The drivers are in there. Nick and Delicado, no stranger to leading here late in the run. Already clear off of single file into first place. Riley Marbello in second. Clear as well. Josh Robinson trying to clear himself up, but he's got the 11 going 3 wide. This is not what you want to do. Contact. The 30 goes.
There we go.
Oh no, he saves it. Wow, what a fantastic job by the 30. that usually would have resulted in a caution. Late in the run, these drivers, the patience the patience wasn't really much there to begin with most of the time, but the 11 made an aggressive move on the inside. No caution come out. Now Sam Broshu's looking to the inside of the 11, and they're wrecking in the back. 20th caution is out here on lap number 135.
I believe that was my driver. We're going to replay here.
Ryan Mitchell's. Oh, who was that? The black and red machine 25. That's the 99.
That is the 99. He does run for me. And give me one moment. I'm going to get the look at the in-depth replay here. When you have a cat and they try to climb on your stuff.
So, while you do it kind of looks like the same thing that we've seen before, getting loose on the exit of the corner. But the difference was he had some help in recovering him in the form of the 22 of Westergreen. Kind of got that car back in position, and then because of the checkup that ensued, the 25 ended up going around. Now, how did he go around is my question. Oh, big checkup. Did you see that? Hard contact in the back of the 79, and then trying to get back up to speed, hitting the gas while he still wasn't fully straight. Kind of got him a little loosey-goosey. Spun his tires a bit. See who else may have been involved. This is on board with the number 95 of Ryan Mitchell. I don't think he was necessarily involved, but just checked up fully, and that's why he showed up. But yeah, 25 Seth Rawls involved in this one. Heavy contact. A lot of these Dash for Cash drivers have been involved in many incidents, but one of the but in that Dash for Cash race, pretty much only 2 are in the top 10. And Delicado, who's your current race leader, and Sam Broshu, who was running up front earlier in the race before he spun out, and then got involved in multiple other incidents, most of which weren't really his doing. But in Delicado, Broshu, it's a battle between these two drivers right now, and honestly, with the way it's shaking up, I don't know who's going to win, because we've seen every single leader essentially spin out on their own. It would and would not surprise me if I saw Nick and Delicado do the same thing. We've already seen Delicado have an issue earlier in the race spinning himself out, but we're not really seeing drivers kind of spin out multiple times in a row. At least we're not seeing that a lot. So most of the cars that are spinning out appear to be like doing it for the first time in the night. But lights are off. We're about to go green flag here for the 20th time. For the 20th restart, I should say, 21st time. But Mike, with going to restart with about 61 laps remaining right now, what are your keys? Because there's not too many laps left. What do you? What would you?
Patience. I would be patient. Like we seen where caution 21. This, just be patient. Give people room. Wait to the end to make your move. Oh, looks like we have... Wow. So apparently Schumacher has been removed from the server.
Interesting.
Everyone's emotions is coming to be. Patience.
Yeah, Schumacher.
Everybody's gotta calm down.
Yeah, not happy in the Discord right now. Gonna let that go on. That's probably gonna be handled with the league officials. But you know, it's Martinsville. People are gonna get heated. Usually, they're gonna get heated at other drivers, and that's not. I mean, that's the case here tonight. Again, a lot of people making mistakes that you just probably don't really find anywhere else but at tracks like this. And you know, 142 laps. This race has mostly been run under caution conditions. This is not what anybody wants to do. Everybody wants to go out there, try to run green all the way, run the best laps they can, and caution is out
and
once again.
Speaking of caution,
oh, they're still at it.
I'm a little confused on this. It looked like it happened late.
No, I think that
60,
was
oh.
a separate incident.
60. Well, wait. 61 bumped. Okay, so it was the 61. Looks like it bumped. 74 in turn 3.
The caution
My
came
screen
out.
looks like he was a little netcode.
Yeah, the caution came out when the 74 got sideways, although it did. That doesn't look like it should have brought out a caution, but I'm assuming based on where he was in the track, iRacing probably thought that he was over a certain percentage of degrees sideways and brought out the caution immediately. Because as soon as that happened, there was definite contact there. Caution came out, then the 74.
Stay with him. Stay with him. Stay with him. Right there. That's where I think the caution came out. But you could see that he was on my screen. He was blinking a little bit before he had that second incident into the outside wall.
Take a look. Switch the camera angles here. You're gonna slow it down. You're gonna see the contact between the 74 and the.
Okay, he bumps him into turn 3.
Right there is when the caution's coming out.
But then he resaves it. Does a little drift. Saves it.
See? Lights are already on. Caution
Now,
already came out.
Yeah.
And then there was another incident as a result of the 61 who was having net coding issues. I'm trying to get rid of the. There we go. Sorry about that. So I think regardless there would have been a caution, but maybe iRacing was a little too premature with that one. So we're going to be going green next time by Negan Delicado, still your race leader. Broshu moved up a couple, one spot I should say, now in third, right behind and Delicado. Riley in the 11, we've seen him been very aggressive. So all these guys, any of these guys can potentially win the race. And patience is key, but if you're too patient and somebody else is very aggressive, that could be a key to a wreck. These cars off, they're about to get into the restart zone. They're on the zone. They're going to see when the 4 is going to take off. Now is when he goes. Cross-star finish line already cleared by himself. Nobody behind him. Not giving anybody the chance to get to his inside and dive bomb him. Holds on to that whole inside lane by himself. 23 of Sam Broshu's passing the 11 for sole possession in second place. And caution is out the 08 once again. As that's going to set in Delicado, Broshu, Riley, Marabello, and Roethlisberger as your current top 5. So,
it's like the 08 was... Looking at the replay on my view, looks like the 08. If you look at it closely, the right side tires came up out of the groove into that far side where the lanes change color. The concrete actually changes color, and that's where he got a little loose.
Do you know why it changes
slow
colors?
Motion. I believe this is where the pave is. I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to get the full definition of that.
Yeah, I've always been curious about that, why it was always like that. But yeah, no, you nailed it. Got a little too high. Maybe change of the textures of the track and just brought it around as the 08's struggles continue here tonight. So we're going to go ahead and take another quick break. And then we'll be back here on the next restart of the... Back.
All right, looks like our lights on the pace car are off. And to answer your question, as far as Martinsville's corners, the straights and the high banks are asphalt, and the corners are concrete. So the winters in the Virginia mountains are hard on asphalt. So that's one reason why the corners are concrete.
That makes perfect sense. Thank you so much, Mike. Actually, that's gonna help me understand this track a little bit more, and also understand maybe as to why that car went around when it was kind of straddling those two lanes. But no question is what's getting in the Nakata around. He's got precision on car control right now, but Sam Brochu right up
74
his rear
around.
bumper. Cautions
74,
out one more time.
74 around in turn 3.
Jake Bustos once again getting involved in another incident. This one though may have been a single car one, as that is not the camera angle I wanted. I apologize. Oh, whoa! Did the 22 blow an engine in front of him? I saw smoke. Let's go on board. I saw smoke coming out of the 22. Oh, he locked up his tires. 22 pretty much had. That's what happened. 22 locked up the tires in the middle of the corner. Yep. Drifted all the way up to middle lane. 74 was already to his inside. The 22, I'm not sure. The 22 didn't know that the 74 was there, or just no. I think the 22 tried to hold his line. 74 may have just come up slightly. But Mike, what are you seeing on your point of view?
Double checking this different angle here. So he locked up the left front tire. The right front did not lock up. And that's what caused the 22 to drift up the track. Looking at one more angle. I think that the 30 had a little net code. Nope, that was a mistake.
Well, we are getting closer and closer to finishing this race, but 57 laps or 56 laps completed for on lap 157, as we have 44 laps to go. One quick green flag run. We'll get this guys done home pretty soon. Now the question is, I don't think it's really gonna be an issue here for us tonight. But would we run out of time? Actually, want to take a look now to see just how much time is remaining on track. If I can find the correct one.
2 hours. So.
These guys are gonna get this race done in 2 hours. Why did I say that? Nah, these guys. There's no way these guys can make it. Like actually stretch out the time too much.
We actually have a remaining time of 32 minutes. To finish this race.
Oh, that's why that shows up like that. Oh, okay, so 64 laps to go, if I can do my math right. Or 44 laps to go, I should say. If they continue to have cautions every single lap, they may not be able to make it. But with the way it's going, where they're running a couple of laps and a caution comes out, these guys should be fine. That being said, it's going to be a horrible
race
night
officials.
for everybody.
Officials have been shortening these cautions, so as we're going back to green, the 4 car has got a good restart. That 23 though snuck in right behind the 4.
Yeah, 23 definitely has speed. We've seen it. He's been making some beautiful moves to get himself back up into second place.
Contact!
Oh, he goes around the 52 once again. The Larson Land car spins out. Cautions out once again.
So it looks like the 11 gets into the corner. I'm going to double check on that. I think that was a net code hit.
Oh, yeah, that was bad net code. That should not have sent that 52 around like that. If anything, that should have just sent the 52 up into the outside wall. Like, kind of like head first, but not backwards first. Okay, well, I see it tried. But I don't know, Mike. In this case, I don't think there would have been contact without the netcode. I feel like that only happened just purely because of the netcode. Tough break for the number 52 Larson Land Machine. It's definitely not what he wanted this late in the run. As as the closer we get, it's gonna start getting tougher to make up spots with the less remaining laps. So at this point, you kind of want to hope that you don't make a mistake, or somebody doesn't make a mistake for you, and kind of sends you back. But we got 39 laps to go here this time by. Going to be restarting maybe with 38 or 37 if the officials do shorten this caution period again, like they've normally been doing here for most of the time. But let's take a look currently at the top 10 in Delicado. Brochu, your 2 Dash for Cash drivers who pretty much recovered multiple times here tonight. Currently 1-2, Riley in third, Rossesberger in fourth, Isabella fifth, Paul Hemus, who we've seen involved in multiple incidents, in sixth, DeBarro seventh, Hess eighth, Westergreen in ninth, and Damian Leininger, who won stage 2, is currently in 10th place. So, and we see some of the other drivers, most of which have been involved in multiple incidents in the night, running currently outside the top 10. Pace car is off, coming up here on the 25th restart of the night here, or no, 24th restart of the night, 25th green flag that's coming out. Number 4 has been amazing here on these quick restarts, and he's going to be no different here going into turns 1. Lap 164 underway as the 11. Ian Riley is on the inside of the 23 of Sam Brochu, as these two hot shots are battling in here for second place. No problem here. Cleared is the number 11, and he's now cleared to chase the number 4 of Nick and Delicado here for first place. Gets a little wide on the exit of the corner. Brochu's looking to his inside. Battling, they continue, and battling no more as the 23 drives deep into the inside on turns number 3 and 4 to retake that second place spot, as he's finding himself back up into second, already behind Delicado, and this is Delicado being happy as Sam Brochu goes wide into turns 1 and 2, and it's now just rinse and repeat, but invert the position of these two cars. Is now the 23 and the 11 are battling with the 11 on the inside, almost making contact. They do, but they save it as the 23 clears them on the outside and cautions out for an incident in the back.
Looks like it's 54.
Sam Hass involved once again. 74 as well. The number might be number 96 or 97 that gets
54. Ooh, go on board with the 10.
With the 10, huh? All right, Ty McIntosh. Let's see what Ty has to see. That's not what I expected to see. There we go. Ooh, 10 got through that middle of the corner really well. 54, not so much. Ty got into the back of the 54, sending him around and collecting a couple other drivers. I'm sure Andrew Hess is not going to be too happy about that.
A little chain reaction after that. Looks like the 10. 25 is involved. 22, 97 involved with that. Let's get another car around. Let's double check. 74.
There we go. On board on the back of Andrew Hess. Actually, no, I lied to you. And then can we switch cameras? There we go. Here we go. Now on the back of Andrew Hess. There's Ty McIntosh going to make that contact. He's going to send him around. Contact again. Contact with the 22, contact with the 96. 54 is kind of going through a little ping pong amount of contact here, or pinball amount of contact, I should say. Overall, these are small contacts, but Mike, we're really late into these races. Multiple cars have been involved in multiple incidents. How close are we, do you think, to seeing these amounting damage kind of get to the breaking point?
I honestly think we are at the breaking point. Everybody's looking at the time, and they're like, oh, man, we got to start making our move. And we're looking at about 25 minutes left in this race to finish. Let's see. What do we got? 171 of 200. So
yeah,
looking at over
30.
25 laps.
Yeah, 30
So
laps.
you're going to need. I'm just going to go on the rough estimate here. Like, they're going to have to at least do 2 laps green at least.
Yeah, 25 minutes remaining here in this race.
If we get 4 more yellows, we're not finishing the 200 laps. I'm just going to say that right off the bat.
And that's going to be a huge
Everybody's
punch in the gut to all the officials who pour their hard work into this, to see these guys not be able to make it all of the way. And even for the drivers, they're all going to be embarrassed with themselves for being in this type of race here, to not finish all the way through. But let's look in the bright side. I think these guys should be able to finish this without hitting that time limit. I do think we're going to get I'm feeling optimistic. I think we're going to go the rest of the way here without a caution.
Speaking of the rest of the way, what are we looking towards next week?
Towards next week. Well, that's a good question you have. As the pace car is off, we're about to go green flag here. Green flag's back out. Next week is the 200 at Pocono Raceway. 80 laps here at the Tricky Triangle. That one's going to be a blast for sure.
Geez, that track is like 30 minutes away from me. I should go down there and catch the race.
We might be able to get you a couple tickets for free. Try not to get scorched out in the sun. I don't know how hot it is over there in the Finger Lakes region. It's in the Finger Lakes, right?
Right now it's 54 degrees max.
Really?
And for people that live in Florida, that's nothing.
That's a dream. That's me being frozen in Florida.
Yes. You see all the memes. If it's snowing, the boss will say, "Oh, you can still come to work, right?" Yeah, sure.
Oh man.
So far, the action on track 35 looks like got a little loose.
Yeah, 35 Leininger got a little loose there. Great job of saving it on the back bumper of the 25. Seth Rawls does a great job of not getting turned around there. Now Ty McIntosh looking to the inside, making contact at 23-35. They all save it. Once again, heavy contact. Never mind, they're going to wreck and cautions out.
What is going on? Aggressiveness. All right, so we're on board the 10. Well, actually, rewind that. It's the 83 gets loose, coming out of 2, gets bumped from the 61, and then the incident in turn 3. Oh, the 10 left front lockup. The 10 locked up that left front, and the 35 just finished him off. And with a little bit of a tap.
Yeah, this is
25.
Well, the 10 kind of made an aggressive move to clear himself and go into the inside on the corner, which he was clear. The 10 was clear, but just barely. When he goes down to 35, already has all this momentum. He's locked in there. Gets a little too close to 25, drives in there too deep, and I don't think that 35 really did anything to the 10 of McIntosh. I think he maybe panicked a little once he made that move, drove it in close to 25, and then drove it into the inside lane, cutting through the grass and moving him up. I don't think the 35 Leininger had any contact at all. Let me see if I can go on board and maybe confirm that theory. If there was contact with him in the 10, it was maybe the closest contact you could ever imagine. I don't think that was going to really change the trajectory much of the 10 as it already was. I got to say, before that replay, I maybe had thought that Leininger maybe bumped the 10 going into the corner, but looking at it now, I think the 10 of McIntosh is maybe overly aggressive going into that corner. Mike, what are your thoughts on this incident?
Again, I think he's looking at the time. He's like, oh man, we're getting close. I got to make moves, and
21 laps to go, 20 laps to go in this race right now. 20 minutes remaining before the server closes up. They're the way they're going, they're gonna be fine. But this is not helping at all right now. Under caution, they're running 44 seconds a lap. Mathematically they're good. 44 seconds a lap. That's
if we have 3 more cautions, if we have 3 more cautions like we are now, we're not going to make it.
No, we are, because under green flag conditions they're going 16 seconds a lap, and we're tied right now in 20 laps, 20 minutes remaining. Now it's going to be 19 laps. Well, now it's 19 minutes remaining, but 19 laps, 19 minutes remaining. The only way that they will not be able to finish this is if they go less than, or they go over a minute under caution, which they're not.
Good point.
But yeah, lights are off. I'm assuming the officials shortened the caution period once again. Lights are off. Going to be going green here for the 27th time of the night. 26 restart here in the Paperclip 100. As they're going to go through turns 3 and 4, going to get to the restart zone. Let's change it up here. Let's take a look. The 11 gets a little nudge on the back of the 4, but that's not going to do anything, as the 4 doesn't get that good of a restart. I'm not going to lie. Usually he's pretty clear by himself. 23 almost got into his outside. 23's battling with the 11 on the inside. Before the caution came out last time by, we saw a great battle between these two drivers. Advantage goes to the 11. And the exit of 4, he's going to clear himself. 23 thought about going to the inside. Not going to happen, as with 18 laps to go. Second place is the 11 of Riley. And he thought about going to the inside of Delicado. Wisely backed off. That probably would have resulted in a caution. As Nick and Delicado now has to battle the hard-charging Kean Riley. Delicado blocks on the inside. Riley thought about going on the outside, but didn't have enough momentum, as the 4 has to worry about the 11, maybe contact on the exit of the corner. No harm, no foul for any of these two drivers, as we got ourselves a race here. These guys are racing now with 18 laps to go.
Checking all cameras that's available to us by NASCAR and iRacing. And we have a caution.
Wrecking in the back. 22 Westergreen involved. 27th caution of the night. All right, let's see what happens.
I actually have Andrew Hess.
Yeah, I'm seeing Andrew Hess as well. We'll see if we can maybe see what happened with him. Johnny Eckert, 22, and the 22 there as well. Doesn't look like Eckert had anything to do with that, but contact with the number 52 Larson Land Machine sent the 22 around. Now the question is, did the 22 come down on that 52, or did the 52 get a really great run in the middle of the corner?
Looks like the 54 did stop on track.
Let me go on board with the 52.
Oh, yes, he did. Right front. 52, right front, hit him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was definitely contact. My question was, did the 22 go down on the 52, or did the 52 kind of just get a good run and hit him? And I don't think the 22 had that middle position, but I would personally, I think that maybe the 52 got a really good run and hit the 22 there. 22 wasn't necessarily.
It looks like the 22
right on the bottom.
It looks like the 22 was trying to going around the 90 in front of him, not knowing the 52 was on his inside.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. But well, we're gonna take hopefully one last quick break before we go back to green. Get ourselves all get a water in our voices for this last last 15 laps. So we'll be right back here. All right, we're going to go back here. 27th caution, 27th restart, 28th time green flag is going to wave, and Nick and Delicado's back at it. Slightly better restart this time by. I was a little worried for the 4. I didn't think he had that good of a restart that previous time, but this time by, it's great. Already clear to the 11, probably by the furthest he's been on any of the previous restarts is the 11, trying to give it whatever he can. Contact with the 23 of Sambrosiu really checks up that whole second place back positions as Nick and Delicado soaring off to nearly a second of a lead as the 23 and the 11 are kind of battling each other pretty much this whole race, this whole last quarter of the race. They've been side by side with each other for position as the 11 goes
11 car gets up
wide,
in
and
marbles.
handsome. Yep. Saves it, does a fantastic job of not getting it around, but he's may have done too much harm for this car as he's lost 4 spots or 3 spots in that whole ordeal, now down into 4th. But Nick and Delicado smiling 0.8 of a second ahead of Sambrosiu, who is by himself by about 6.5 of a second to Paul Hemus, who now Paul Hemus has to battle the championship contending number 11 of Kian Riley as they're going to go on the inside and cautions out. I don't see what for. I think Andrew Hess may have been involved. Oh, whoa! Andrew Hess was... No, he was involved. Oh, wow. Something happened to the 22 of Western Green as Ming Hong gets collected up in there. He might find himself with a penalty for not slowing up for that caution. But 22, David Westergreen... I don't know if he got loose on the exit of the corner or just some... Yeah, he got loose on the exit of the corner and just tried to save it and whipped it around to the outside wall. 54 panicked, went to his inside, and then lost control, moving up and hitting the outside wall as well. But Mike, what are you seeing on your end?
I have exactly the same thing you just described.
Huh, that's weird. I initially thought that the 54 lost control and hit the outside wall because of like a weight transfer issue, but it seems like he was fine.
He went to the inside to a... Looks like he, from what you said, the 22 hit the wall. He went inside to try to avoid it, got back on the throttle, and then hit the wall.
That's exactly what happened. I thought it was just that when he went to the inside and tried to go back to the outside, he lost control. But no, it's what you mentioned. He had it straight, and then once he got on the gas, he maybe gave it just a little too much beans, and that just turned the whole car around into the outside wall. All right, we're going to be restarting with 10, or not 10, but we're going to be restarting with less than 10 laps to go as this race is getting closer and closer to finishing. Oh, excuse me. Wow. I do apologize to everybody out there that was watching. We have 4 laps to go. We have 11 minutes remaining. I do apologize for us having the wrong counter on it. I just realized that I had it set to the wrong one. So 4 laps to go, 3 laps to go this time by. This is not a green-white checkered attempt, but should we have a couple more cautions, there are 3 attempts at a green-white checkered for tonight's race. So it's not over quite yet. And you know, actually, Mike, I didn't think about green-white checkers when I did my calculations on how much time was remaining.
Oh boy.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Yeah.
We gotta get to that point first.
Yeah. Well, we're at the point that if there is another caution, there will be a green-white checkered. Let's see. It should be one to go this time by when they cross the line. Lights are off. And
actually, this is a green-white checkered.
This is a green-white checkered. Yes, you're right. This is a green-white checkered. It looks like this is going to be the first of 3 attempts. So if we have another caution, we'll have the second attempt. If we have another caution after that, then we'll have a third attempt. If there's another caution after that, the race is over. But pace car is off. Green flag's going to come out. Hopefully the white flag will come out the next time by. And once we do, it'll be over when we cross the finish line for that final time. But Nick and Delicado trying to get that 5th win. Not in a row, but a 5th win overall this season. Great restart. Sam Brochu looking to the inside. He's not over. He's going to give it one good attempt. Right on the back bumper of the 4. Gets himself clear of 2nd place and is right in prime position to get that spot. He dives it in there deep, but the 4 dives it in there deeper as he goes wide on the exit of the corner. Caution's out. Now, who had the race lead? That's my question. The wrecking in the back,
like
the 80
4.
involved.
The 4 still had the lead.
This is going to help Nick and Delicado because I don't think he would have held on to the lead by the exit of the next corner. I'm not saying that Delicado didn't have the speed. I'm just thinking 25 is moving with intent. Is he not happy with somebody? I don't know why we clicked away. No, it's probably something else. But let's take a look and see what happened there with this last caution. Take a look at Seth Rawls. Oh no, Seth Rawls had nothing to do with this. This is just another incident up ahead. Eckert was involved. I'm not. Maybe it was Zach Roethlisberger. He's one of the drivers that was listed as involved in this incident. Let's see just exactly what it was. Lock up in the front, but the 5 of Vincent Isabella drove it in there deep. I don't think that lockup from the car up ahead had really anything to do with it. But a couple more drivers involved in this last second skirmish here, right before the white flag would have come out. So it was pretty close. Let's take a look at DJ Weeks onboard.
I think it was the 5 bumping into the 93.
Yeah. Vincent Isabella. Let's go on board with him. Here we are on board with Vincent Isabella. Types it in there deep. 93. Clear, obviously, goes down into the corner. Gets to the inside before the 5 hits him in the back. And that kind of turns that whole incident going on around. So Vincent Isabella driving in there pretty deep, getting a good rotation through the corner. Gets right into the back of the 95 and causes that incident. Seven minutes remaining in this race. 3 laps remaining. It's going to be a green-white checkered attempt number 2. So if there's another caution after this one, we're going to have our last attempt at a green-white checkered, and that one will finish regardless if there's a caution or not. But second attempt at a green-white checker, we're already in overtime. Pace car is already off. Nick and Delicado held on to the lead. He's going to try to do whatever he can to hold on to it one more time. Two laps to go this next time by when they cross the line. Who's going to win tonight's race? It will be another... Well, will it be a first-time winner or will it be a repeat-time winner? Right now, the first 2 have each won a race this season. Sam Brochu didn't quite get right behind Delicado as I thought he would have, as Delicado clearing of Brochu by a couple car lengths in the middle of the corner. No harm, no foul. We're going to have another caution as we're going to have our last attempt at a green-white checkered. Eckert involved. The 54 involved, the 10 Ty McIntosh involved. A lot of drivers here involved once again as we were close to getting the white flag coming out here. Ooh, more contact. Unintentional, of course. The 54 runs into the back of the white cars. Let me pull up the replay.
Looks like
here.
The 52 and the 35. The 35, I think, got hot in the corner. Yep, 52 locked up left front. Locked up left front, came up the
35
track.
locked it up, yeah. Damien Leininger involved in this incident once again. Let's zoom in. We're going to take a look at the tire that gets locked up. We're going to slow it down. Taking a look at this tire here. You can see it right there, it gets locked up. You can read that whole Goodyear Eagle. And when that tire is locked up, that means your car is not rotating at all. 5 of Vincent Isabella kind of panic, moves up, trying to get out of the way, hits the 90, who also gets involved in this incident. As actually, it doesn't hurt him, or it doesn't help him that he had more contact with the back end of the 35. 30 involved as well. A couple more drivers involved in this incident. This one was pretty big for a lot of guys. 97 goes around. The 5 makes contact with the 23. The MeFi machine, I think, is okay. But the 10 of Ty McIntosh goes around. The MeFi machine is not going to be okay in that one. It's going to be me no fine. But yeah. This is going to be the last green-white checkered attempt of the race. And now I have to ask, Mike, do you think they're going to finish this race under caution or under green?
I think it's gonna be caution.
Think it's gonna be caution? I think we'll get the white flag. We've been close 2 times in a row. I think they're gonna be able to make it this time.
Yeah, we will get the white flag under yellow. We'll get the white and yellow at the same time.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens here. It'll be pretty close. We're already 8 laps past regulation. As at worst, we're gonna be. Actually, I don't know. Depending on how many, if we go green next time by, or if we get 1 to go next time by or not, depending on how many laps we're gonna go past. But in Delicado first, Brochu second. Your top 2 Dash for Cash drivers. Rawls in 10th right now, 3rd in the Dash for Cash position. And then all the Dash for Cash drivers are on the lead lap, but it just seems like it's going to come down either between Indelicado or Brochu. And Indelicado's heart must be beating crazy as we got 1 to green. Because Brochu isn't a slouch. He's every single restart, with the exception of this last one. Brochu's been right on his back bumper, pouncing, waiting to go on any mistake. And Indelicado kind of slipped up on that first green-white checkered attempt. Brochu got to his inside, but thankfully for the 4, caution came out very quickly. Now, can Brochu do the same thing again, or is he going to fall back accidentally like he did with this last restart? Let's go ahead to the drone cam, see just from a slightly upper view what's going to happen. Maybe I chose the wrong cam for this. There we go. That's a great restart by the 23. Great restart by 23. He needs to dive it into the outside. Block that 24 from getting that outside line move. Not going to happen, as he now has to contend with the 11. Brochu and the 11 of Riley batting side by side, as the 23 is trying to make that outside line work. It's not working out for him at all, as white flag is out. No. Ooh, yep. Well, you nailed it. You nailed it. The caution came out at the same time.
But they also got the yellow.
Yeah, you absolutely nailed it. It came out at the same time that the white flag came out.
Now to find out what caused the caution.
Being shown Johnny Eckert. That would be a shame if he had involved in another incident. So this is going to be quick because they're about to cross the start-finish line to finish the race. Yeah, 99, the 90 involved. Yeah, it's definitely a caution moment. But Nick Indelicado crosses the start-finish line, wins tonight's race, 5th win of the season. As this is gonna go, this is gonna be a race where all these drivers are gonna drive home just in utter silence, not gonna even listen to anything on the car radio. '23 of Sam Brochu gonna give him a little congratulatory bump on the side. As number 4 is victorious for the 5th time this season. Won the first 4 races clean, 4 in a row sweep. Finished 3rd to Sam Brochu in last week's race, and beats Sam Brochu, Kean Riley, and the rest of the competition for his 5th win of the season. Johnny Eckert's approaching by him, congratulating him on the win. But let's quickly go over the race results before the server shuts down all of our graphics. As Nick Indelicado won tonight, 5th race this season. Kean Riley in 2nd. Sam Brochu giving it his all, but all these top 3 drivers giving it their all for that finish. Barrett Paul Hemus in 4th. Riley Marabello 5th. Vincent Isabella finishing tonight's race in 6th. Damien Leininger in 7th. Tom Ogo in 8th. DJ Weeks in 9th. And Seth Rawls will be finishing tonight's race in 10th place. Mike, take it away.
Ty McIntosh finishes P11. P13 is Andrew Hess, followed by Zach Roethlisberger. P15 is David Western Green. Jordan Tarbo is P16. P17 is Johnny Eckert. And finishing laps down is Josh Robinson, Ryan Mitchell, Joe DeBro. We talked about your pole sitter, minus 20 from the start. I think what is that? How do you pronounce the name?
Min Hong.
Min Hong is 21st. Alex Brophy, 22nd. Nick Vasquez, 23rd. 24th, Jake Burstow. Alexander Schumacher, 25th. 26th is Davis Warren with 27th, 28th not starting.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why Dallas Myhan and Matt Brewer were unable to start tonight's race. If we do know anything, we'll probably let you guys know next week's broadcast. But before we do move on into the interviews, I just personally want to thank Mike Maddox for coming in here and covering for Will. Because Will's preparing himself for Hurricane Ian, making sure that him and his family and everybody that he loves are okay and everything is going on okay. But Mike, I want to thank you so much for coming in here kind of like last minute and getting everything ready for us to have a somewhat smooth broadcast. But Mike, usually where can we find you on a weekday or weekend in YouTube?
Wow. Normally, you find me Friday nights on 10-4 Broadcasting, producing the Haas Cup Series race. Other than that, you normally find me on social medias at Maddox3US on Twitter. As far as racing wise, you could also find me RaceBot TV, Monday nights, led by the voice of iRacing, Evan Pasoko, on Real Sim Racing. I'm normally in the back, but every person you watch, you can normally see him hopefully in the Coke Series next year.
Well said. And for all the people out there in the Florida area, please make sure you guys are all safe and sound. Don't go out. Don't do anything that wouldn't be too smart at all. Make sure you're all safe and sound. And as Mike mentioned, iRacing is never going to come ahead of your personal safety. So make sure everybody's bundled up. Make sure you turn off your computers, turn off any electronic devices if you are possibly within risk of having power surges, and make sure that most importantly you and your family are safe. But Mike, why don't we go ahead and see if we can talk to some of these top three finishers?
So we're being told by race control that we're only going to be interviewing first and third place, as I guess the race went overboard, and I think second place has went to bed.
Well, I don't blame him. It's getting pretty late out here tonight. But let's go. Fine, let's go ahead and bring up Sam Brochu. And Mike, I'll let you go ahead and talk to Sam.
Sam Brochu, this is Mike in the TV booth. You got a copy?
I do, yes, sir.
Wow, this is a crazy race. What do you think? What happened?
I don't really know, to be honest. It was definitely caution filled. I drove from the back like 8 different times. That was kind of cool. But, I mean, Nick, he's just so good. He's really hard to beat. But he races you really clean, which I respect a lot. But, you know, when I got to his inside that one time, I was like, oh, I got it. This is my race now. And then, bam, the yellow comes out right before the caution. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I was going to go 2 in a row there, win Dash for Cash. But, you know, Nick, he's got so much luck on his side. It's incredible. I'm very jealous. But, I mean, besides, like, you know, all the wrecks happening tonight, it was an up and down race, definitely. Getting wrecked, you know, 4 times, causing 2 wrecks, I think, which, you know, the next gen car just does not stop at Martinsville because the brakes are so screwed up. So lockup played a huge part in it. But otherwise than that, it was a pretty good race. I'm happy to finish second. You know, I wish I could have been first, but, you know, we'll go get him at Pocono.
Did you finish second? I think I see it says you finished
Oh,
third.
third. Yeah, third.
You're breaking
I
his
did
heart,
finish
Mike.
third. Yeah, it's all right.
Well, I believe, Carlos, what is the next race?
We are gonna go to the Poke. Oh no! I forgot how many miles it is.
Oh, that's right, the Pocono.
Yeah, Pocono.
So actually,
beautiful.
Sam, I will see you. I'm 30 minutes away from the racetrack. It is 54 degrees here in Pennsylvania, so I will see you at
Jealous.
the racetrack.
I'm jealous. It's like 68 here in Charlotte or something like that.
It's been nothing but rain these past couple of days, so I'm pretty sure you don't want to race in any more slicks than you did tonight.
Fair point. Yeah, I don't.
What do you think? You have the capabilities of coming home with a W next week?
Pocono's a really strong track for me. I've been good there. Trucks, Xfinity, the Gen 6 car. So I haven't been on the track in the next gen yet. So I'm hoping, I get a little bit of luck on my side. But at that track, I've always been very good at saving tires there. So I think if I can just save the right front and the right rear, I think I'll be in a good spot.
I know one of the tips that I've learned in past in my league races that I've done is that there's always going to be that guy that wins race after race after race. The one thing you have to learn is to be there at the end. Don't worry about the beginning of the race, the middle of the race. Be there at the end so that way you can capitalize on a win.
Definitely, I think that's the main goal for a lot of us. Winning races is good, but if you can't be consistent, then what's the point of winning the races? But Nick's got that upper hand because he wins races and he's consistent, so that's why he has that points lead. But I think if I can just be there in the end, manage the car, I think we'll be in a good spot to try and win the race.
All right, this is the time we're going to give you any shout out sponsors, family members, anybody in Florida that should not be watching at this moment. Give a shout out to.
Yeah, I just gotta thank my teammates Barrett, Riley, Ryan Mitchell, and Alex Shuey. They all were coaching me at the end of that race. Giving me tips to somewhat attempt to get Nick, Spino Racing, Turtle Cove, AK Performance, and then I got some friends down in Florida. I don't think they're watching. But they're actually in Fort Myers where, Ian made landfall. So they have the entire first floor of their house is completely underwater. Their cars are underwater. Their workshop is completely underwater. So they're in a really difficult situation right now. But they're safe. They're, alive, healthy. So just hope that they can recover what they lost. Because I know it's going to take a lot of work to get everything back. So just thinking of them and, everybody else that's been impacted by this, massive hurricane that'll rip through the entire state of Florida.
All right, well, congratulations on your P3 finish, and we'll see you next week at Pocono.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that was your third place finisher, Sam Burrow from Redemption Motorsports. Second place, which is Kane Riley. He has actually called it a night. This race turned out to be thrilling, exhausting, and he just basically fell asleep at the wheel. So, I believe we have your race winner.
Oh, sorry.
And we're going to talk to...
In the middle of singing.
Wow, I apologize. I thought you have some background party going on over there.
Yeah, the dorm rooms get a little interesting from time to time.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. Not much to think about that race. I don't know how proud I am of it. Obviously it could have been better from a racing standpoint. But weirdly enough, this is the first ever time I've ever won a Martinsville race, from official racing to regular racing to anything. So it's pretty cool, and not the way I wanted to do it, but it's nice to have.
looks like next week we go to Pocono. That track is actually 30 minutes away from me, so it is raining all week, and it's also 54 degrees. So, seeing as how the track was slick here, you think it's going to be worse there?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Pocono's a really hard track. Pocono's a really hard track, but it's one of the tracks that I really do enjoy. So, these next 2 weeks coming up, we've won 5 so far, 5 out of the 6, and definitely looking to make it more. Pocono's great for me, and then Indy Road Course the week after that's also a really good track. So, next week should be good.
Well, this is the time where we give you a chance to shout out any neighbors, dorm members, or sponsors, anybody, people from Florida should not be watching right now. You should guys be buckling down, but floor is yours.
Yeah, shout out Dallas Myhand, who's in Florida right now. He's going to race with us, but obviously he couldn't. But yeah, the car, if you guys see the car, Sam Drace is on the side of it every week. Great friend of mine. He does motorsports photography in real life. So follow him, Twitter, Instagram. He's a great addition to the feed. Along with that, the amazing paint schemes we have every week are courtesy of Seth Rawls. He has his own design company. Go check him out, SR Design, Twitter, Instagram. If you need a paint scheme for iRacing or whatever, go hit him up and he'll get one made for you. And along with that, Shift Esports, our team. We finished 1-2 tonight, so that was pretty cool. It was nice to have Kean behind me. Obviously I wish we could have battled it out there, but overall a good race for Shift Esports as a whole. So follow us, Twitter, Instagram. We're trying to grow the socials as much as possible. And once again, thank you guys for broadcasting. It was probably a hard night up there, but thank you for sticking it out for us.
That was a great show, even though it lasted over almost a 2-hour mark. But we'll definitely see you next week at Pocono.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good night.
Well, I don't really think there's much else to say after this race. It also looks like my computers just wanted to stop working, so we couldn't get those final post-interview graphics going up and going. But it's a good thing that we went over through the race results first before all that happens. Kind of why I like doing that. But hey, once again, thank you, Mike, for filling in last minute. Will, we miss you. Hopefully, we'll see you again next week. And Pocono, Will, everybody will get back together. And Mike, I hope you enjoy the free tickets you're going to be getting for you and your friends at the Pocono track.
Oh, most definitely. I'll make sure there's no rain on the track.
Well, thank you so much. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Hopefully, everybody's staying nice and dry and safe, especially those in the southeast coast, in the Florida area. So we wish you all good luck, and we'll see you guys next week.